Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Order Management 2 of Vision. I am going to go ahead and take you through the process from a quote all the way to invoicing. So that's what we'll be covering today. I'd like, if you can type your questions in. I'm going to address them at the end of the webinar. So I can kind of keep going through the webinar, and I'll go ahead and try to answer those questions at the end, so it doesn't jump around too much and it's a little bit easier to follow. So again, welcome to the webinar on Order Management 2. Right now I have my dashboard open. This is the page that you'll see when you log into Vision. Many of you probably have already attended our webinars on Product Research and Order Management 1. If you haven't, I'm going to just do a really quick overview. As I mentioned, you're at the dashboard, which is your home page. Across the top of your dashboard, you're going to have your toolbar. From this toolbar, you can do product research. So if you go into products and overview, you can do some product research. It will take you to that area where you can use filters, keyword searches. Over here you have the projects. This will give you an overview of all the projects you have within your Vision system, as well as quotes, sales orders, purchase orders, and invoicing. You can create a new project from this toolbar as well. Here you have contacts. This is where all your customers and the employees within your customers, where you can upload logos that apply to your customer. So you can go ahead and go into new contact, and that's where you would enter those in the system. You can also import your customers, and if you click on importing your customers, we have a webinar scheduled on customer relationship management, which covers how to do that. It's a pretty easy step. You just have some templates that you need to download, and you can fill those out, and you can import those customers into your Vision. You also have reports. There's a reporting function within your Vision, so you can access that through the toolbar at the top. And you have websites. Again, that's a separate webinar, but you can access it through this websites button. This allows you to create and manage your company website as well as your company stores for your customer. There are 6 windows on your dashboard. There's the feature product windows. You can access the search area, product research area, by clicking more here. You can also enter the product research by searching products, keywords, product title, and clicking on search. You have a general overview of the projects that you're currently working on. So these will be the last 5 projects that you're working on. As well as at the bottom you have some information of how you're doing, how you're performing, and some quick stats and what you need to follow up on, what quotes you have pending, what require follow-up. So this is a good place to start your day, get an idea of what you need to take care of. You have a task. This pulls from your calendar. So if you have some things that you need to follow up on, such as emails or meetings to attend, you'll see that on your dashboard. Like I mentioned, this is Order Management 2, so we've already done the product research and researched a project or products that our customer might be interested in. We've created a project for that customer, and we've begun editing and building a quotation for that customer. So today we're going to go ahead and go find that quotation or that project, and we're going to move it through the order management process from there. So I'm going to go up to projects. I'm going to click on overview. I'm going to find the project that we were working on. So I'm going to pull up, I'm going to look for the Nike corporate event. So right here I have found it. I'm going to click on the project number, and it's going to pull up everything that I have got going on for this Nike corporate event. I've put the date in the subject line so I know when it's happening. That's very important when you are creating a project. The more detailed information you have in your subject, the better. You'll be able to find it easier in your Vision, as well as it helps with pulling all the quotations that tie to it, as well as sales orders. So it's nice and neat. So the more detail, the better. I have pulled up the quotation that I have created for this corporate event in Nike. Just to clarify some terminology, the quotation is just an idea ideas that you're submitting to your customer. So you've researched product, you've pulled together some ideas of what products your customer might want for this event, and you've created a quotation and sent that out to them for them to kind of review. So right now, the next step is getting an order acknowledgement. So the customer is actually going to come back to you and say, okay, I received your quotation, and now I want to place an order for the following. So I'm going to pull up the quotation for this customer. I'm going to go ahead and convert it to a sales order. So when I hit the convert to a sales order, it's going to pull up some general information such as quantities, colors, and sizes. This is mainly because I have quite a few apparel items. So this is the screen you're going to see. It's going to ask you, we quoted a red Nike shirt in size medium. Now I want to order, the customer wants to order 20 of those. So we'll adjust the quantity. So we want 20 red mediums. I'm going to add another one because now they want 20 red larges. So I've adjusted on that product. I'm going to scroll down here on the white, or right here we've got selected black. So we're going to go ahead and do 20 black in a size medium. I'm going to add another one. We'll do 20 white in a size large. So we've adjusted some quantities and colors and sizes there. Right here we have a clock that we originally quoted. Maybe they want to change the quantity from 50 to 100, so we can enter that there. And then here we have a blue Nike top. So maybe we want to just have 20 of the blue. Let's say maybe navy. It looks like it's not offered in this blue, so we'll do a navy. And we'll do a size small. And we'll do a red in a size extra large. So once I've done the basic quantity, size, and color adjustments, and I'm happy with the general information, I'm going to go ahead and say create the sales order. Okay, as you can see that it's pulled all that information from the quote into my sales order. The screen looks very similar to the build a quote screen. So we're now in the build a sales order screen, but you still have all that editing capability that you had in the quotation screen as well. So right here we have our general product information, our project information, sorry about that. Then we have our customer order number. This is unique to your customer. This could be your customer's PO. If you do not have one, it's not a mandatory field. Right here you have your sales rep. This is listed as myself because I'm the one signed into this vision, but you can allocate it to other sales reps within your company if you'd like, or just leave it as yourself. Right here we have that My Logos button. As I mentioned, this is seen throughout the vision system, and it allows you to do that virtual sampling. So we've already applied the Nike logo. We did that at the quotation stage. But just to show you again that technology, we click on My Logos, clear, and this will pull up all the logos that are in my logo locker per se. This is where I keep all my logos that I've uploaded. So I would go down here and find that Nike logo, select it, and then it would apply it to our products that are in our sales order. So I'll do that. So you can see that it's applied right here. Again, I like to note that this is a virtual sampling. So as we get into the product further and there's maybe embroidery that needs to be done on this apparel item, I'll show you how you need to handle that, as well as once you get the actual artwork you can put in the notes and the details of the imprint method the actual color of the logo, where you want that logo displayed. So I will get that into that in just a few minutes. Right here you have the in-hands date. This is the date that the customer needs the product by. So very important that you fill that out. Shipping method, you can select a shipping method. If there's not a charge associated with the ground, you don't need to worry about it. But if you have a rush order, I will show you how to deal with that in the pricing grid of the product. So if you need to build in a shipping cost, I can show you how to do that. Here's the calendar. As I mentioned, when we first came into Vision, you signed into your dashboard or your landing page, home page, and you had a section called Tasks. This is pulled from your calendar. So if I put a calendar entry, it's my own personal calendar within Vision, I can set something up for myself to be reminded. So right now I've allocated to myself. You can allocate it to another representative within your company if you'd like to put something on their calendar. Here's the contact that you're going to be contacting, and this is the category. You can choose from the drop down. I'm going to put visit the customer. Here's the date. Oops. Here's the date that I would want to follow up with. I want to visit the customer on the 1st. You can select a time. End date just means the duration. If I'm setting up a meeting, I want to meet with them on one date. My end date and my date are going to be the same because I'm having a meeting on that particular date. But if it was something that I was scheduling that needed some, a couple days follow-ups or some type of action item that was going to take a few days, that end date can be different. Right here you can put the objective. I want to visit customer to get artwork. And so right here I just click save and it's going to add it to my calendar. And at the end of this webinar I'll show you how that information's pulled down. We'll go take a look at our calendar and see where that's put. Right here we have the contact. It's Scott Payton with Nike. So that's great. We have the sales tax. This will automatically default. All your sales tax will be set up within your Vision when you are giving your login. Right here is the address for Nike. So here we have an address. If there were multiple addresses for this customer, if I hit select, it'll pull up a drop down and I can select an address. So say Nike has 7 or 8 divisions of Nike, and they're all at different locations, and you have different contacts at those locations. This is where you would see all those addresses. So you'd do the drop down, and there'd be a number of, you'd see a number of contacts or employees within Nike from this drop down. And then if you were to click on select, you could select various addresses for that employee. So maybe you're working with different divisions of Nike. Just an example. So right now we've got all our products. They've got their virtual sample. We've made some but quantity and sizing and color adjustments. So right now I'm going to go ahead and go into this Nike red shirt, because I had mentioned that we have some options from the decoration side as well as the shipping. So we have some additional charges that we might need to put into our product. I'm going to edit the product. Once I click edit, you're going to get a 2-step process that you need to complete. The first step is your general information on the product. So you have a description. I erased the description in my quotation, so it's gone. But if I wanted to add a customized description, I could put made with dry tech material. Just put something like that in here. But you can add anything you want to the description that might be more customized for your customer. Again, you have that My Logos button, so you have that option to add the virtual sample here as well. You have sales tax. It gives you the product code and your vendor that is being going to be providing this product. And if we hit step 2, this is where all the meat and potatoes are with the pricing grids in quantities, colors, sizes. So initially, once you got that screen and we made some adjustments on our quantities, colors, and size, and I went, oh no, I forgot to add in the smalls, I would go ahead here and just hit that additional add a color and size. And now I can add 20 smalls. So, oh wait, it went large. Hold on one second, small. There we go. So now it's updated my pricing grid. Here we have the imprint method as well that I mentioned. It's going to be general because this supplier is not offering any decoration or imprints. So it's going to be mostly general for an apparel item. However, in our quotation, we added this embroidery, which we wanted it to be embroidered by a different supplier. So we went ahead and added that in, and we assigned, we set our imprint colors. We wanted that Nike logo in black. So you can see how that was all pulled through. This also talks to where we want it. I want it embroidered on front left chest. And we already put in that embroidery charge in our quote, so it pulled it through. However, if we didn't have this embroidery charge, we would go in here and hit decoration and add that line item in. Let's do that on a different product since it's already in here. I'm going to show you, let's add a cost for shipping or setup. You can just add a line item, a setup charge. So select our supplier. It's going to put that supplier in there. And we're just going to have a one-time setup charge. And it's going to be, $15 for lettering. So now you have a setup charge and an embroidery charge. It might be better if these were matching. So let's go ahead and just pull up the same. Let's change this to All-Star. It's better. It makes more sense that the setup and the embroidery would be together. Okay, so what it's done is it's pulled through that embroidery charge, and it's also pulled through that setup charge and added it into the total. You can do that with any of these buttons: decoration, setup, shipping, and miscellaneous. So if you click on any of these plus buttons, it will add that line item for you, and you can click on and type in a more customized description, select your supplier. This is important because when you select an embroiderer, now your system knows that the shirt is being provided by Cutter and Buck, but Cutter and Buck needs to send it now to All-Star lettering for it to be embroidered. So that's very important because you don't want your customer receiving a shirt that doesn't have its embroidery or decoration on it. So when we go to raise a PO, it's going to raise a PO, a purchase order, for All-Star lettering as well. We have the base cost, so we just adjusted the sale price, so we want to go back into the base cost and make sure that we have a setup charge in here that we added. So maybe it's actually costing us $10. And so it adjusts the base cost as well. When you're happy with everything that you've edited for that product, you can click Save, and it will save that information. I'm going to go up here. We lost that Nike logo, so let's go up here to My Logos, clear, go find it. Let's try. Okay, we'll find out what's going on with that bonding issue. So let's go ahead and do our this white shirt, just how we did the red shirt. I'm going to click on Edit Product. Here's our two-step process. Here's that description I was talking about. Again, you can customize it if you'd like by just highlighting it and typing over it. If I go into step 2, I can see my quantities, my color, and my sizes. I added a small to the other one, so I'm just going to leave this normal. But let's go ahead and add that decoration cost. We've got the decoration. We're going to say it's embroidery. Select a cost, a sale price, I mean, for that embroidery. Wait, it's too high.
Welcome to your Compilot.
And we're going to select a supplier that's going to be doing the embroidery. So we've got All-Star lettering there as well. Here we have a general imprint method, but we're going to tell them that we want it embroidered or black. And then right here in the imprint details, we'll tell them where we want it. Maybe this one we want Nike logo on back under collar. Okay, there we go. So we've added that embroidery and we've given it our specific details as to how we and what color that embroidery needs to be done. So we've gone ahead and done that. We're happy with it. We're going to go ahead and save. Oh, I need to go do a base cost. We didn't need to say that it's going to be $3. So very important to remember, you do sale price and base cost. So we have a sales price of $5, but our base cost is $3. So you want to make sure what you add into the sale price, that you make sure that you have that on the base cost as well. Let's go ahead and save. And we've gone ahead and edited that product. Here we have the clock. So we can see we did a pad setup on the clock. Let's go in that. We have the description, step 2. Because the clock had that imprint method of a pad and it gave us all the way up to a 4-color option, we went ahead and selected that pad at a 3-color and it populated the pricing for us there. I just wanted to show you that. So we could have changed that to maybe a 2-color and it will adjust that as well. Okay. So we'll save that. So looking at your sales quote, let's go ahead and just delete this product. The customer maybe just doesn't want this. So let's cancel this one and remove well, we can edit the product. Sorry. Next. Hold on 1 second. You know what? Right now, why don't we just go ahead and add the color option for practice. And do a medium. So just for practice, we've gone ahead and added a color option. We're going to save this. And in our first quote, we did a quick product insert. And right here we have the bottled water. We said that we were doing some bottled water and we needed to provide 100 of those. So I'm going to leave that, but in order to get another line item in here, you could just hit on the plus. And if you had a product that maybe wasn't in the database and you wanted to provide for that customer, you could just do a quick product entry, which is going to give you a line item on your sales order. And maybe I want to do 50 and put in a product code. Maybe some hats that I want to provide. Add a description in here. And if I hit save, it's going to add that to my sales order. So that's how you would add a quick product insert. You can also officially add a product to the database by just clicking on add a product. This is going to require you to fill out a lot more information. So details, colors and sizes, customization, pricing, and images. This is what you would want to do for a product that is not in the system and you want to be able to use again. Go ahead and fill out all this information. You can add it to your existing sales order, as well as when you hit save, it's going to update that product in your Vision database, and you'll have it in your product research portal for you to research in the future for other customers. So that's 2 ways that you can add a product. So if you're looking at the sales order and everything looks good, you've made all your changes, you can go up here to design, which I like to think of as print preview. So you can look at design. And here you have some options. Right now, you're going to pull through your customer logo on the left top and your logo on the right. You can choose what to display on your sales order by just checking or unchecking these boxes. So right here, if we want to include the notes, you can do that. If you want to shorten your sales order and you think 5 pages is too long, you might want to look at what you're including and maybe exclude the notes. You probably want to include those product, but maybe you want to exclude the 0 cell line items. You can do that, or you can, whatever. You can just choose by including or excluding by checking the box. You have the option of including a cover page. There are some templates in here for you. So if I wanted to include a cover page, it pulls through my project title. And down here at the bottom, it's going to pull the customer's logo as well as my logo and all our information. And if you wanted to make it look nice, you could add a red swirl. So like I said, there's some customized templates here that you can work with. Do a gray swirl. So once you're happy with that sales order that you want to send out, you can go ahead up here at the top. You can click on send, and it will send it to the customer. So it's going to do that. It's going to pull up your email. It's got the customer's contact here. It's going to attach the sales order as a PDF. And right here, just as if you were in your regular email, you have all the free text. You can just click on in here and write what you want to write in your email. And then just click send. And that will send that sales order to your customer. So what we covered is moving the quote from the quote phase of the order management process to the sales order or order acknowledgement phase. Again, the sales order is the customer telling you exactly what they want and you getting that out to the customer for them to sign off on or give you the final okay before you go ahead and raise purchase orders to those suppliers for the product that needs to be provided to the customer. So I've done the quote. I changed the quote to a sales order. I've sent it to my customer. I'm going to go back into this project. So projects, I'm going to go into overview. I'm going to go ahead and pull up that Nike project that we've been working on. And now, not only do I have a quote, I now have a sales order as well. So moving through this, the next thing would be to get the purchase order out to the suppliers and vendors. So I'm gonna click on my sales order, pulls up my sales order. I have a couple options here. I can go ahead and edit the document if there's some changes. I can just go ahead and email it again, maybe to the customer. They need another copy. I could delete it if they no longer, this is not something that they want to be a part of, or maybe this project is going to be placed on hold for a while. But right here, I just want to go ahead and edit that document. It's going to pull up that sales order. I want to verify that I have all the information correct prior to raising a purchase order to the supplier. So I'm going to look at those products, make sure everything looks good. Okay, everything looks great. So I have just this little quick button up here at the top called Create a PO. And when I click on it, it's going to create the purchase orders for these suppliers right here. So All-Star Lettering and all the suppliers have now, it's raised a purchase order for each of those. So right here we're in the purchase order. And as you can see, you have a purchase order for this Nike shirt over here, this shirt, Ace Polo. So everything is listed right here, the custom hats. So you've raised a purchase order for that. You have 3 purchase orders. Because the 3 shirts are from Cutter and Buck, Cutter and Buck is going to get 1 purchase order, but the lettering and the all-star, the embroidery, all-letter embroidery is going to get a purchase order, and then you're also going to have a purchase order for the clock and the hats. So that's why you have 3 purchase orders. Once you've created the purchase orders and they've been sent to your suppliers, you can go back to the sales order, because now you need to create an invoice for your customer. So to create an invoice for your customer, you want to be in the customer's sales order acknowledgement area, not a purchase order. Purchase orders are for suppliers and vendors. Invoices are for the customer, so you need to take invoicing from your sales order. So once you've clicked into your sales order, you can just simply click Generate Invoice. Another way you can do it is go into the Edit Document. And you have create an invoice here at the top. So either way, whatever you prefer. So just remember, to raise an invoice or create an invoice for your customer, you must be in the sales order screen. So we're going to create an invoice. Right there it tells you what invoices have been created. So if we go back to the project and pull up our Nike project, we now see that an invoice has been populated to the customer. A couple of other parts of your order management that you want to look at is you have this activity log. This is where you can add an activity, an action, give a date that it needs to be completed by. This activity will always be assigned to the project. Sorry about that. So every time you go in here, you can see all activities that are associated with this project. Notes and files, you also can attach artwork, emails maybe that have gone back and forth between yourself and the customer, or even the vendors and suppliers. You can attach those. So you can add a document, go and browse on your computer and upload those documents here so that it's all nice and neat within your project. So that concludes the order management, how to take it from a quotation all the way through to an invoice. If I go back up to this home, which is our dashboard, I wanted to show you that, we did create that calendar. So if I come up here at the top and click on calendar, it's going to pull up my personal calendar with Envision. And now I'm going to see that follow up a sales order that was put in. And here's that. Oh, I think it was I believe it might have been the set up a meeting or follow up. It was one of these. Sorry about that. But it's now appeared on my calendar. Visit customer to get artwork. Actually, that was it. I'm sorry for confusing you, but it was in March. I think that's when I set it up. So here's that visit customer to get artwork, and we put that in as a calendar entry when we were in that sales order screen. So what I'm going to do is answer some questions. Let me pull it up. Okay. Oh. Hold on. Okay. First question is how or where do we put the double XL and the triple XLs that we have a different price for? That's a good question. When you are in your quotation or your sales order and you're editing that product, I'm going to go in here and show you. Let's go into a quote. I'm going to pull up a quote here. I think on this one we might have an apparel item that we can look at. Oh no, not in this quote. Okay, let's go back to that project that we were working on, the Nike project. Let's pull it up because I know we have apparel there. Okay, so if I was in the sales order and I go in and I edit the document, when I go in to edit the document, you know what? I'm not going to be able to edit this because I already raised an invoice. Let me find a project that doesn't have, that just has a quotation. Here, let's try this one. Sorry about this. There we go. This is good because we haven't got a quotation or we haven't got an invoice on the project. Okay, so I'm in my quote screen. I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit Document. And this can be done in the quotation or the sales order screen. So I've got my items. I'm going to go down here and select this product, and I'll show you where you put that. Right here, I would make sure I select the sizes so you would show that you have that extra large right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and, maybe there's an upcharge for this double XL or triple XL. That was your question. So when I go into price a product and I want to add that charge because there's an upcharge for the additional sizes, I can just go into miscellaneous and I can add a charge right here. So other related cost, I could leave it as other related cost for that shirt. And then I would say, okay, it's an additional $2 because of the size. Make sure I adjust the base cost. Maybe it's $1.50. So that's where you would add that in. And then you click Save.
Sure.
Also we have, let me see if I can take another question. It says it looks like I have to figure out all my margins by hand. Well, it has a default margin in there when you add the product. Those margins are created for you. So the products that are already within Vision, they have a margin default. So those are already done for you. However, if you are adding a product yourself, when you go into add a product, and you go through all the information that's required to add that product in your system, if you head over to pricing, this is where you would set up, the M is your percentage. You can go into cost of sale. This is where you would set up your margins. So for that product that you're adding in your system. So if I want, this is where I would figure out, okay, I have a cost of, $30 for this item. And I want to set my margin to be about 20, or actually, I go in here, and it's going to say maybe 35. And you'll see, okay, that's a margin of 14.29. So I want to get up into 20% margin. You can figure all that in here so that when you are actually selecting the product, it's going to pull that through your pricing grid for that product. But like I said, all the products in Vision are already set with a default margin. So what you need to do to change those is when you do the pricing grid, you just need to change the sale price to get the margin that you'd like. So hopefully that answers your question, Stanley. I'm going to take this back to the dashboard, answer some. I think that's basically it. It says, can the calendar be linked to Outlook? No, I'm sorry, not at this point. It doesn't link. It's just your personal calendar within your Vision system. So it doesn't link to Outlook. That answers that question. And if you have any additional questions, you can definitely email support@TradeOnly, and they can get back to you and answer any of the additional questions that you might have. Thank you very much for joining our webinar today, and enjoy the rest of your day.